Hello NMCS family, my name is Zeppelin and I'll be presenting on the Brahmavihara, the basis for the practice of loving kindness and compassion. What does Brahmavihara means? It literally means the divine abode of the Brahma God, right? It also can refer to the qualities of the beautiful heart and all the boundless state of mind that we want to cultivate. And that's why we can say that we can have heaven on earth. Metta, it means loving kindness, our friendliness and goodwill that we extend to others. Karuna, compassion or empathy. Mudita, appreciative joy, happiness for the happiness of other people's success. Upekkha, equanimity or serenity. All these words are the words of the Pali language spoken by the Buddha over 2500 plus years ago. Why do we want to practice loving kindness and compassion? Isn't there already mindfulness practice? One way to see is that mindfulness practice is a way to build our awareness, right? It can strengthen our mind. However, loving kindness and compassion is a concentration practice. It can be very calming when we can recite the certain phrases over and over again. Maybe an analogy here could be useful to help to understand how these two combines together. Right? Imagine the mindfulness like a power drill. It's very powerful, tearing into the ground. While if we don't have any water to soften the ground, the drill bit will be broken pretty quickly. So we want to have the practice to soften our mind and our heart. Dr. Rick Hanson, a psychologist, shared the difference between having a Teflon mind and a Velcro mind. Right? So imagine this. If someone says something good about yourself, right, we tend to downplay those good things, right? And meanwhile, if someone says something negative about us, for some example, someone say, hey, this presentation of mine can be better. It probably sticks to my mind much longer, right? So that's the difference between having the Teflon and Velcro mind. So how do we want to cultivate the loving kindness and compassion practice? We want to do it gently and over time, right? Just like you water your plants in the garden, right? You want to water them gently with watering can or hose, not like spray them with a fire hydrant hose out there, right? A caution to have when we practice the loving kindness and compassion practice. Imagine that you're watering your plants in the hot summer days, right? As you water the plants, you see, oh, there's a lot of sizzling heat that comes off, right? So similarly, that sometimes we have a lot of negative emotions or anger that comes forth when we practice the loving kindness and compassion practice. But don't worry, it will dissipate over time. Right? Maybe it take about 30 seconds, right, to practice the loving kindness practice together here, right? Make yourself comfortable wherever you are, right? You can place your hands over your heart area, you can provide yourself some self-hug, or just put your hands on the lap, whatever makes sense for you, right? We just silently recite certain phrases together, right? May I be safe, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I live with ease, right? For second time, may I be safe, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I live with ease. And for the third time, may I be safe, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I live with ease. Yeah. So hopefully even that short few seconds there, it helps to soften your heart, right? You feel that sense of gentleness of the loving kindness practice, right? Yeah. So we can definitely use a short form, safe, happy, healthy, and ease after a few recitation. Or you can use other words that make sense to you, that connects to you better. Right? So how do we practice loving kindness in daily life? Right? This is something that I share with my students. Imagine you have a Harry Potter wand, right? So as you go along, you just sending loving kindness phrases to people that you see on campus or in the public spaces, right? Just make it fun, make it enjoyable to practice this. Or you can just recite the phrases as you walk, or sit on the bus or subway, whatever makes sense to you. Similarly, for compassion practice, right, there's some phrases that you can recite and use to repeat over and over again. Right? You can just choose one of the following. Right? So, for example, may you be free from pain and suffering, right? As much as possible. Sometimes someone is in some deep, intractable pain, suffering from cancer, for example, right? We can't relieve their pain completely, but we hope that they can be free from pain and suffering as much as possible, at least the mental pain, if not the physical pain. So similarly, we can either recite them or we can put in the practice, right? I mean, compassion is something that we can definitely put in the action, right? Saying hello to a stranger on the street, smiling at someone, holding the door open, etc., etc. There's different ways that we can practice help and support our fellow human beings out there. So why do we want to practice the Brahmaviharas, right? We want to prevent burnout. We have definitely a lot of empathy fatigue dealing with a lot of challenging situations at work, etc. Right? We want to continue to have this the well of compassion that keeps overflowing. We don't want it to dry up. Of course, we also want to strengthen the qualities of a good helper to help our students, to help people in our daily life, family members, friends, etc. Right? So this is one way that how I see the Brahma Vihara relates to in the psychological world. Right? Loving kindness is akin to the Carl Rogers unconditional positive regards. Right? Compassion, we want to be empathetic. We want to bear witness to the challenges and suffering of our students and people around us. We want to practice appreciative joy. We want to be happy for their happiness. Right? We want to be thankful for successes that people have in their life. So we can also be happy. Right? We want to practice equanimity. We want to be able to be calm and collected whenever horrible things, challenging things comes up in our life. So here I have provided some additional readings. Don't worry, I'm providing a QR code at the end that you can snapshot and get a copy of the slides. So what I like here is a mindful.org. It has a lot of practices, loving kindness, mindfulness, etc. that you can use for your students with your clients, etc. Of course, there's Kristen Neff, self-compassion practice. That how I see is like a combination of loving kindness and compassion practice that you can explore further. Yeah, I've also included additional readings in Buddhism that if you would want to see things that are closer to the Buddhist world, they can explore this further. And of course, there's some books here, they can check them out. Yeah, so as promised, here's a QR code, and you can, of course, connect with me on LinkedIn if you would like to discuss any of these things further, right? And may you be well and happy. Have a nice day now. Thank you, and NMCS family.